You want to know something that's really strange, man, that I discovered? These countries that you see men from the states going to, like Colombia, Thailand, Philippines, y'all realize that these are reported to be the happier countries in the world. Yet from a but when you look at them economically, they're some of the worst. That is such a mystery to me, bro. But the U.S. is supposed to be the richest country in the world, but we're the most miserable. Make that make sense. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Ron back with another video. Before we get started, make sure you please like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. On the road to 1,000 subs, baby. Let's get it. Alright, so if you're new to the platform, please subscribe. If you're an OG, appreciate the love and support. Now let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so today we are going to be reacting to Miss Filipina P. I reacted to one of her videos before, and one of the reasons why I wanted to react to her this go around is because the last few times that I've reacted to Zoom to Thailand, and shout out to Zoom to Thailand, I've been seeing a lot of people in the comments mention the Philippines. And to be honest with you, one of the reasons why I really haven't considered the Philippines is because I just find the Thailand women more attractive overall. I'm already like having a hard time picking Latinas over them because I like curvy women. But I have spotted a few curvy Asian women here and there, but it's not as in abundance in comparison to Latin women. I kind of just wanted to touch on this and maybe get a different perspective, because it does seem like a lot of guys are having success with Filipino women as well. So I figured, I'll go ahead and dive into this and see what's up. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
While everyone's needs are different, most male-female relationships follow a similar formula. A man values companionship and access to sex, and a woman values companionship and the security of resources. You can spin it any way you want to, but this is just a basic truth. It's neither good nor bad. But why is it like that? Because when something is overly abundant, it loses value. If every grain of sand on the beach became a diamond, then diamonds would quickly take the place of the gravel used to pave your driveway. They would become almost worthless. For a woman, sex is like sand. It's so available that its value decreases. We know we can get it anywhere, anytime. And although we enjoy it too, it's not something we're gonna make life decisions based around because it's so easy to get. Men need money and financial security just like women do, but they usually have access to enough of it, especially if they're from the West. So its importance isn't as great. That's why most men don't go looking for a woman with money. You don't need to.
There you go. So, it took a foreign woman to make Western women understand that men don't value your money because we're expected to pretty much pay. I've said this all the time, like, and I just did a reaction to the collab that Ali and Pearl had with the Tik Tok chick. 70-30 is the new 50-50. It does seem that way. So even in that situation, I think that's one of the main reasons why guys don't really care about a woman, how much a woman makes. Really, I'm like, as long as she got a job, I'm like, you pretty much in the clear for real. As long as she got a job and she ain't fat, I mean, you in there for real. So I really don't get it. But I mean, for her to not be from here and she like hit the nail on the head with that, it's crazy, man. Let's keep it moving.
The place where men's and women's needs overlap is in the middle, with what I labeled companionship. It's about how you make each other feel wanted, happy, and attached. How you have each other's backs in tough times and make each other laugh in the good times. It's how you enjoy spending time together and just being in each other's presence. It's the glue of the relationship. This is the part that can last a lifetime, no matter who you are or where you're from. This formula of wants and needs is true of almost all relationships. So now let's look at the life cycle of the typical, modern, Western relationship and see how that works out for you guys. A woman in her late teens to early 20s is in the flower of her youth and typically the most attractive and fertile. If she's smart, she'll spend those years not just having fun, but securing a quality partner to journey through life with. But I'm afraid that Western women have lost their way in their quest to have it all. They've been sold a lie and told that they don't need a man or his companionship, and that they should empower themselves so they can lead a life of wish fulfillment. Put the kids on hold and party, which is really easy to do when you're holding all the cards, and men are climbing over each other's backs to get to you. And what does that attitude do to the perceived value of a man? It diminishes it, because you've been convinced that men are of little value and so easy to get. But by the time they realize the truth, they're scrambling to find a chair before the music stops. And even if they find a good man who wants them, they somehow feel they had to settle by settling down. Once married, maybe with a few kids, the relationship might finally be in equilibrium. The woman is happy to be with a man that provides for the family, makes her feel safe, and they enjoy each other's company for a few years. But later on, when a woman's sexual desire winds down and she's just not as into it anymore, the older guys who've been married know what I mean. A Western woman whose life was permeated with feminist overtones might wake up one morning, see her dirty socks on the bed again, and decide that she really doesn't need or want a man anymore. She's accumulated enough wealth, either yours or what she's earned herself, and the quality of your companionship just isn't enough to keep her happy. And guess what? In her eyes, your perceived value decreases again. And if you think that a verbal promise of "till death do us part" and a piece of paper will save you, good luck with that.
You lose.
And there you go. Oh my God, bro. She just snapped. My God, boy. That's a whole lot to unpack. That's why I ain't even want her to stop. Man, and where do I start? She literally just described to you guys exactly what every woman in the West is pretty much taught. And it's not working. It's not working. We have the most women over 30 that are childless in the history of mankind. That right there tells you everything you need to know. That's going to be a lot of women that are more than likely not going to have children. Because I bet you most of those women probably can't afford to get all the extra stuff that they need to give themselves a chance to have kids even past geriatric pregnancy, which is 35. It's just scary, bro, to see that a woman all the way across on the other side of the world can see how bad we got it. And not only does she see how bad we got it, she sees the root of the issue. Like, she sees it. She sees the problem. I'm like, and they wonder why men are going to the West. They wonder why men are going after women like her. Like, come, all right, let's keep it moving.
You lose more than half of your stuff and end up older and alone, with nothing but the realization that the flower of your youth was spent chasing something that was never really yours in the first place. Like some of you guys say, she was never yours. It was just your turn. You still have plenty of value, but not so much to the women of the West. But now for the good news. Take the same life cycle of a relationship and map it onto the reality here in this country. From the beginning, Filipinos instinctively know that our youth is fleeting. We have no misconceptions about that. And we're all about finding a good man while we can, amidst heavy competition.
Get over here!
All Filipinas know that every day, a new crop of thousands of eager young women have their 18th birthday and join the hunt for a man to spend their lives with. And there just aren't enough good men to go around in my country. Add to this situation the fact that Filipinas aren't as sensitive to the issue of age. We really can find older men attractive, and we don't just pair with them out of desperation. That's something a lot of you Western guys just don't believe, don't trust, and don't understand because it's so alien to you. But I assure you, it's a real thing here, just as it was in your country not so long ago. According to Quora.com, Western marriages at the turn of the 20th century were recommended to have a 10-year age gap for a healthy relationship. Why? Because an older man had a couple years to get a head start on his career and his wealth accumulation, and a younger woman had a few extra years of youth and beauty in the tank. Things were more naturally in sync. So why is it so hard for you to believe that this type of May-December mindset still exists here? Men and women who marry at the same age are often evolutionarily mismatched. The life cycle of the relationship is out of sync, and we end up wanting different things at different times.
Yep.
But if you have a gap of a decade or even two, things fall back into alignment for both of you. That doesn't happen much anymore in the West, where the average age gap is only 2 to 3 years. But that's a fairly recent change in your culture. And yet to listen to some of you, you think it's always been that way. And any disparity in ages must be the result of greedy, desperate women and dirty old men. Well, as they say, the proof is in the pudding. So how's your system working out for you in the West?
You lose.
Horribly. It's working out extremely horribly. Whatever, oh my God, whatever else you can think of, it's horrible. P, if you're watching this, it's horrible over here. I feel like Neo in the Matrix chasing that rabbit. A lot of guys over here do, bro. We just gotta grind and stack our paper though, man. We gonna get there. Trust me, bro. I'm checked out, bro. I'm just here. I'm just going through the motions, bro. You know what I mean? Trying to get more guys to wake up, open their eyes, and see what's in front of them. Cause you got, bro, I got some friends that are still, you know, man, bro. It's ugly over here. It is ugly over here. This is what I mean. Cause you know you always hear women say, well, we wanted different things, or we grew apart. Y'all probably grew apart because y'all was close in age. And what she's saying, it makes perfect sense. That's why I always found it strange that women would shame men for wanting to date younger. I'm like, but these the same women that'll be jealous or high five a chick for getting a sugar daddy, which is essentially the same thing, damn near. You know, that's just another one of those contradictions, you know, many of them that women have. But it's, oh my God, she hit the nail on the head with that, bro. Good God, that's such a valid point, man. Like, way to break that down. That was cold. Way to break that down. Let's keep it moving.
At the rate you're going, in a few more decades, the women will be older than the men when you marry. If marriage is even still a thing. I guess you'll be fine with marrying older women. But you need to understand that it's not the natural way of things. And in my humble opinion, it won't work because your needs aren't synchronized. So what about the glue I mentioned that holds a relationship together? Companionship. How does that work between a Westerner and a Filipina? Well, if you think that older Western men and younger Filipinas can't fulfill each other's needs for companionship and a desire to share each other's lives, you just don't get it. Filipinas are all about companionship. We don't spend the day taking tennis lessons and going to afternoon brunches with the girls. We're happy just being with you, day in, day out. Isn't that what you want? Isn't that what you need?
Perfect. You win.
Yes, indeed. Oh man, oh man, oh man, man. What I would give, man. I'm like that. That sounds so peaceful. You want to know something that's really strange, man, that I discovered? These countries that you see men from the States going to, like Colombia, Thailand, Philippines, y'all realize that these are reported to be the happier countries in the world. Yet but when you look at them economically, they're some of the worst. That is such a mystery to me, bro. But the U.S. is supposed to be the richest country in the world, but we're the most miserable. Make that make sense. I definitely want to dig deeper on that one. Let's keep it moving.
On the flip side, you Westerners often make great companions too. You know about the world. You're fascinating to talk to. And you challenge us in ways that local life never has and never could. Filipinas often see younger men as immature players, as more of a flight risk, and will gladly trade a few extra inches of waistline for a more mature man, not just for his wallet, but for his loyalty. Having a man that's serious about you and will stick around you as your companion is another form of security, and it has way more value here. In the West, government support programs and employment opportunities have replaced you and one of the main things you offered women. So they don't need you for that anymore. Your overall value to them has decreased, but not here. Now, some people with an axe to grind try to make relationships between foreigners and Filipinas sound unhealthy at best and downright depraved at worst. How often have you heard someone say, expats are just perverted old men who want to do it with young women? And how often have you heard people say, Filipinas are only after a man's money? Money, money, money. Well, there's some truth to both those extreme statements. But instead of looking at it in a cynical or sinister way, why not say, Western men and Filipinas each have something the other really values? What's so different about that from any relationship, which is all about fulfilling each other's needs when it comes to sex, security, and companionship? It just sounds to me like we're a really good match. So what? Isn't that a good thing?
Yep. You win.
Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, because I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. Valid question, very valid points. And it's funny because these women or anybody that would clown men for doing this, y'all do realize that the women in the States want the exact same thing. It's just that because the US dollar stretches, is stronger than all the other currencies, we can go to these other countries where the women are more traditional and more feminine because they're brought up exactly how she explained earlier. Like I said all the time, I'm like, dude, if you're an American making $40,000 to $50,000 a year, you can go to Colombia and Thailand and live like a king and get treated as such as well. This is real talk. Do the numbers, do the homework. If I can find that video Zoom to Thailand did on the cost of living and stuff, because let me tell you, man, that spot that he got, he ain't paying as much as y'all think. You be surprised. Like, he's paying less than what I'm paying for my 1-bedroom apartment in Cincinnati, Ohio. You know what I mean? And that man got a house with a pool, and he's paying less than what I pay for my 1-bedroom apartment. Don't let these people deceive you that's trying to tell you not to do this, or like she says, try to put this cynical connotation on this. Honestly, I think for guys that's in that pay range, that's probably the best option for you. Me, I'm trying to climb the ladder a little bit more before I make those moves, because I want to put myself in a position where I can invest and continue to pull in multiple streams of income while I'm gone, so that way I don't gotta worry about nothing. And y'all should definitely look into that too, man. Airbnbs, all that stuff, man. All right. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. If you're an OG, appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hitting that like button, hitting the bell notification, so that way y'all know what I'm uploading. And until the next video, y'all, deuces.